we are presenting our newest addition to our Greek and mythological collectibles. If you guys are new, to subscribe and check out our spooky playlists. We have another Greek collectibles video that's pretty huge because it's like all of our collection, and these are just our new ones. So check it out if you're into this sort of thing. You will enjoy it, and we will link it below, along with our Egyptian collectibles. We have like statues and figures and like everything Egyptian too, ancient Egyptian. It's awesome. So do check those out as well. Now we are showing you our newest finds. These are like very sturdy vinyl figures. They're really awesome because they're kind of like for everything. You can use them as decor. They're not cheap or like toy looking, but they're sturdy enough to be toys if you have kids that are into mythological stuff. Like when Gomez and I were kids, we were very into mythological stuff. Anything fantasy and myth oriented. Like I would have loved to have all these toys if I'd known about them, so it'd be awesome. And they're good for like educational. They're good for those who are pagan and who are into certain things, like the first one we are going to show, because it's like way more less expensive, more inexpensive than getting like the statues. And the statues can break if you're moving or having a party or whatever, you know, if it tips over it can break, and they're expensive. Like fawn statues, satyrs, I have seen for very expensive. So that's the first one we're starting off with. All these range, they're around 5 inches tall, a little bit more sometimes. And they are from Safari Limited. This specific one is from Mythical Realms, Safari Limited. The first 3 we're going to show you are Papo and Schleich make other ones. So they're cool, and like what we're showing you from a few different places this time. Okay, first we have the Satyr, and he's from Mythical Realms. I got these on Amazon, but you can find them in lots of places, sometimes even at Target, but I will link Amazon. It's really cool. He's so detailed. There was a fawn from Narnia, and I guess fawns are a little bit different than satyrs, even though the Romans did steal heavily from the Greek with their myths and religious stuff back in the day. But I just couldn't get into the fawn, even though I wanted to, from Narnia. He had these little tiny nub horns, and like this guy's got the really cool curvy goat horns. And he's holding the panpipes. He's 5 inches. He is not posable, but he's very sturdy, and he's got so much character you don't really need to pose him, and that's kind of good. You don't have to worry about the joints and everything like messing up on his body, his arms and whatnot. But the panpipes stay in his hand. They don't come out, so that's good, because when the action figures have like parts that are small, they never stay in the hand, and you're always losing them. So I actually like this. Aren't the colors nice, Gomez?
Yes, I like the brown of his lower parts. It's like the color of the earth, and some of it is green like the forest where he would be coming from, so it's very authentic looking.
I call him Silenus, and that was the teacher of, I was going to say Bacchus because of the Roman, but he was the teacher of Dionysus. So one of them, and his friend, and so like, that's just who I think of him as. Other people could think of this as Pan. That's awesome too. And he's just very cool. So next we have a lovely harpy. Harpies and satyrs are both very hard to find, even in like statue form. And a lot of times the harpies are like, when you see them in the little metal like figures for gaming and whatnot, they're like little pewter figurines. They usually look like old and not that pretty, like they're kind of monstrous. And I like this one. She's really pretty, and she's half bird, half woman in the mythology. Even if you're into Potter, they had a like Quidditch team called the Harpies, so like I guess they have them in their Fantastic Beasts and whatnot. But anyway, like she's really pretty, and she's the woman from the waist up, except her claws on her hands. And then she's a bird from the waist down. It's supposed to be vulture, so I might paint her one day and just make all the feathers gray and then the wings gray and then make her hair black or something. I don't know. But right now, she's more colorful, which I find odd considering the harpy description. But I guess they just want to make her like people friendly. But she's very pretty. And again, very sturdy. And she's a little bit bigger than the fawn. Just really pretty for display and nice decor, and like for $10 and under, you really can't top that. It's awesome. And next, this is a really cool monster if you like the monsters, and if you're into supernatural, you will know this one as one of the biggest bads there is.
Long before God created angel and man, he made the first beasts, the Leviathans.
Also from Safari Limited, the Leviathan. I actually discovered the other figures because of I can't talk. Because of the Leviathan. I was looking for Gomez because he likes the ones in Supernatural. And I was looking to see if anyone had made a Leviathan action figure that was decent. And I found this one and another one from a different company that we'll get to briefly. But then when Amazon was recommending, like, if you like this, you might like other stuff, which sometimes doesn't really seem relevant, but this time it did. I saw the Satyr and the Harpy and was like, oh yes, because both of those are very hard to find, so I was quite excited, especially the price. This Leviathan is so cool, isn't he?
Yes. He looks like a beautiful monster with tentacles and ridges and webbing and sea green colors and even a bunch of different eyes. He has that typical thing that I call the monster's maw. Every time I think of a monster's maw, that's what I picture.
All tentacles and stuff.
Yes.
He is, like, he's had, the Leviathan has so many descriptions. It's like, you know, sometimes he's described, I think Supernatural kind of showed them as a great big shark looking thing, but sometimes they're described as a whale or a dragon or, you know, whatever. But this has so many of, like, the different parts mixed and just some touches of otherness that you would expect. That makes sense. I love the little, I don't know if they're wings or fins with the claws and the webbing. That's just really cool. And just the body is cool. And it's big and it's very sturdy. And it's like also from Safari Limited. And we got another Leviathan. And we even have the box for him that we can show. He came in like a blister pack thing. He came from eBay. He was like $10. He's big, heavy, paperweight kind of level guy. And it's a different take on the Leviathan. Also mentioning, it has all the features kind of mentioned in descriptions, but he's got a different take. And he is from...
Spirit Warriors Tales of Glory.
Spirit Warriors Tales of Glory. You can find it on eBay if you want one for yourself. I think it does a lot of like biblical stuff, so this is like the biblical stuff for kids, which I don't really care about. But if people do, like, there you go, and they make all kinds of figures like David and Goliath and whatever, but we found the cool monster, of course, in all that and went for it because we're spooky. So he was another Leviathan, and Gomez said he liked him for different reasons, so I said, well, just get them both. They're affordable, and Leviathan action figures are rare to find, so... Again, this guy's heavy enough to be a paperweight. Didn't you say you liked him because he was friendly?
Yes, he kind of looks kind-looking. I suppose if I were in a ship and he rose all of a sudden and didn't start talking about slashing, then I would be afraid. But I just feel like we could communicate with him, like he would be receptive to logic and reason.
What if he's hungry?
Well, then it would be a different case, I suppose. I could be wrong. He might be eating me and then regretting it.
He'd be like, you know, I am usually nice, but let me ask you a question. Why do you think I would have come up here if I didn't want something?
Well, maybe you were bothered by the ship in the sea. Maybe you
Oh,
felt...
you're right. Let me eat that really quick.
Oh.
He's the kind of friendly Leviathan that will explain himself to you before. But he's a really nice one too, so if you're into cool monster decor or toys that won't break or whatever for your kids or any kind of like pagan statuary, these are all just really cool. And check out our other videos. And now that we have done product reviews and impromptu roleplay and channel plugs, I think we're done. So until next time,
Stay spooky, my friends.